guys, welcome to my weekend roundup, my fortnightly review series where I just look at what's been going on in the past couple of weeks in the world of wargaming. Sorry for missing a fortnight ago, but unforeseen personal circumstances, which seems to be the mantra of my life at the moment. There's a lot of stuff going on this weekend. This weekend sees, possibly the biggest thing, is the release of Games Workshop's new Warcry. There you go. Which is their new skirmish game for Age of Sigmar. It seems a little bit like Kill Team, only instead of doing it with pre-existing factions, or they have done with pre-existing factions in a way, they create a bunch of new ideas and new factions and that for the model, for the game. You can see that it's a small footprint game, so you should be able to play it on smaller tables, something which GW and a lot of other companies seem to be focusing for these days. I think they're recognising that people live in smaller houses these days or have smaller spaces. There's more people, there's less space. They're doing a lot more with their space, and so they can't justify necessarily having a whole room to gaming or having a massive table. And certainly a lot of their younger players can't justify the large amount of money or dedicating the large amount of table space to those games. I remember when I used to play Warhammer Fantasy when I was a kid, me and my mates would make use of our backroom table for a day or two sometimes. It's also a fairly scenery intensive game, although the scenery does come with the game. There is a lot of it. It's three-dimensional, so you will be going up and down on the scenery, which is cool. But rather than the standard factions, they've gone with a group of sort of stylized war bands. Here we can see the Iron Golems, next to them the Untamed Beasts. There are going to be monsters and other things there, so that's pretty cool. It again, with a lot of these skirmish games, we're seeing a lot of cards, a lot of tokens, a lot of details, and a lot of stuff like that to help you keep track of all the various bits and pieces that are going on within the game at any given time. It comes with a core rulebook, which I'm happy to see, which looks pretty good. And there's a lot of stuff there. There's multiple types of play. Sorry, I'm just going to get there. There's open play. There's matched play where you can for single games. But also what looks the most interesting is there's a campaign setting. I'm really hoping the campaign setting will be something like the older Chaos Warband style. They've got warbands in it. I haven't had a chance to look at it properly. My local game store was busy when I went down there to look at it. But I'm hoping we're going to see how exactly that plays out now that the books are out. I'm hoping to get hold of one myself shortly, but I haven't managed to do it yet. Today's my son's birthday, so I can't go down there, sadly. Apparently, when you have kids, you have to love them and shit. We've got these guys. The other warbands, you can pretty much guess what Chaos God they go to. This warband is the Zenshin warband, the Cypher Lords. They're the only one I think that's officially declared to a Chaos God. Some of the others, you can kind of see them going to one, see them going to the other. In addition to that, there's 8 Chaos Warbands. So I'm guessing it'll be, once the fluff is out, which is now, you'll be able to see which Chaos Warbands go which way, and there'll be some that can go both ways. In addition to that, you're going to be able to use 9 different factions. This is what's available now in the release book, is the 8 different Chaos Warbands and 9 factions. In these 9 factions, you are going to be able to use pre-existing models. The stuff they've released for it shows quite clearly that it's going to have pre-released models. You've got the battle plan cards, which are going to be available separately in blister packs. They're not blind blisters. I don't know if you can see there on the photo, you've got the different warbands and the different bits and pieces. So you'll be able to buy the battle plan cards for your specific group and your specific faction, without having to buy an entire box set, hopefully. So that's pretty cool. They've got their own specialist rulers, lots, and you can even buy you can even get hold of a Warcry carry case. They haven't shown us the inside of that yet, but I imagine it's going to be fairly similar to the current Zigzag GW carry cases. So there's a lot of stuff going around that. If you're near your local GW this weekend, go check it out. If you're near it after the weekend, go check it out, because I'm sure they'll still have it. They've had it demoing the stores for a week now. As I say, unfortunately, when I went to my local GW, they were unable to demo me because they were busy. What else we got? We've got some more Sisters of Battle coming out. We've got the Sisters Repentia, who are basically flagrants. I don't know if you know what a flagrant is, but a flagrant is a religious person that believes by punishing themselves, they'll get into heaven because God won't have to punish them. They'll have already done it for him. The Sisters of Battle and the entire human religious system takes from various bits of medieval history and various religions across the country and across the world to give a fairly solid feel to their religious stuff. These guys carry, as you can see, massive chainsaws that are much too big for them and don't wear any armor. That's because they've done something wrong and they're supposed to be earning their way back into the sisterhood. There are going to be some amazing assault models. Whenever you get these, the large chainsaws are often called eviscerators. I don't know if that's what they're going to be called in this variant when they come out, but that's what they've been called in previous variants. And the thing about the eviscerator is it's usually a heavy strength, heavy armor piercing weapon that does a lot of damage, but in return for that, you've got no defense. And where they're not wearing armor, I'd imagine they'll either have no armor save or a 6-up armor save, maybe a 5-up if they're lucky. So they're going to be easily killed compared to the other Sisters of Battle who have, who are wearing power armor, and so we can expect them to have 3+ armor saves, the same as we'd expect from a Space Marine. So that's pretty cool. If you get a chance to go and look around your local GW, they've been doing a thing called the Ever Chosen, which is a painting competition. It looks pretty fantastic. Not every GW store has been advertised as doing it, but I understand that almost every GW store has done it. You can find the stores that have done it, and you can also find the independent retailers that have done it. But if you get a chance, pop in, because it's going to be a fantastic example of some painted miniatures. You're going to be able to get to see a lot of really, really cool stuff out there from guys like you. We've got a lot of cool stuff out at the moment. I'm going through, with the release of Malifaux, Art of War Studios have been bringing out a bunch of nifty tokens. Again, Malifaux is a 3x3 game, not quite what they call small footprint, but certainly much more accessible than a 6x4 footprint. But again, with the skirmish games, it's another game where it runs token heavy, just to allow you to keep track of everything that's going on. You don't need, there's a vast array of tokens. There's you basically got shockwave tokens, flip tokens to tell you whether you've got +1 or -1 on your flip, pass tokens to let you know if a miniature's passed its activations, soul stones, activations, conditions, strategies, underbrush, minefield, devils, clouds, explosives, buried, power. God, there's loads of them. Brilliance, flicker, and glowy tokens. There's more tokens than you can shake a stick at. They're all about 125 to 1. Well, yeah, they're between 350 and 75p each for the set. Most of them averaging out about £1 to £1.50. Thing to remember is you don't need all of them. Depending on which crews you need, you'll only need like one set. You might have some general bits and pieces, like the soul stones everyone can use, the flip tokens and the pass tokens everyone can use. But only one crew, only the Jacob Lynch crew, for example, is going to use the Brilliance. Only the Dust Devil's going to use the Dust Cloud markers. There's so you're only going to need to use a limited amount of them, but they're available from Arts of War. And if you've just started with 3rd edition Malifaux, which obviously only come out recently, they're a great way of keeping track of all the conditions and not forgetting what's on what. Because there's nothing worse than going, did I do that? Did I not do that? And have your opponent going, I don't remember. Maybe you did. Because you always feel like either your opponent's generous and says, well, let's assume you did. And you think like, am I cheating? Am I not? Did I take something I didn't deserve? Or your opponent goes, well, if you don't remember, and I don't remember, sorry, we can't really say that you did something, at which point you kind of feel like, oh, hang about, maybe I did it. Why am I getting a disadvantage? So, you know, it's much easier to be able to keep track of them with these cool little doodads, and they really don't cost much, so they're quite useful if you're a Malifaux player, which if you haven't played Malifaux, check out the third ed. I'm hearing nothing but fantastic things about it. It is still Malifaux, so there will be a certain level of insanity in the game, and the balance level I doubt will be perfect, because Malifaux never has a perfect balance level, but then again, very few games do. But it is a very thematic game, and they've really turned it to try and make it much more thematic, so check that out. What else? Here we go. Looking also at Micro Studios, they've got a whole new selection of deep water resin bases. The Roundup ones have come out. They're ideal for a lot of the things like the gups in Malifaux. They've got a general base kit, and they've got the beveled lip ones, as you'd expect, for things like the Ironeth Deepkin. And if you're looking at doing some sort of subaquatic or water-based 40k army, there's certainly a lot of ideas of how you can play that. Space Marines can go underwater, for example. So check out Micro Arts. They've got some really fantastic, really beautiful bases going there. So that's pretty cool. Bouncing back to Forge World just quickly, we're seeing quite a few new cool bits and pieces. I haven't been at Forge World for a while because of the long break, but you've got the Mechanicum Knights, so you've got the lighter, faster Moirax Knights. They're basically, yeah, they're your small, quick Hunter Killer Knights, and they're pretty cool. They're still £37 as opposed to being the cheaper 2 for a pair plastic ones, but that's what you get with resin. Yeah, if you're not looking to spend a bit more money than you should, then Forge World, really, that's the wrong place to go. We've got the Chapter Master Raldron, first captain, not Chapter Master, we've got Raldron, first captain of the Blood Angels, who's another Horus Heresy figure. You've got another beautiful figure there, standing over what looks like a 7 demon arm. Obviously, the assault on Bar by demons is a well-known part of the Heresy, so that's pretty cool. You've also got another squat, and that always makes me happy. This guy is armed with some fairly retro-looking weapons, so he would not necessarily look bad even in fantasy. You've got Ragnar Gunstein, Ammo Jack, so that's pretty cool. Where are we? Right, does it say which system he's for? It's not saying specifically which system he's for. On this, where are we? There you go. He's a Necromunda guy. Sorry, I thought he was, but I just couldn't see the thing. It's on the bottom. He's for Necromunda, as are the only other squats. But with all the squats coming out and all the bits coming out, you can start actually really using squats as a thing. He also re-equips and rearms your guys. So if you're using a Necromunda gang, if you're using bounty hunters, he's really going to help you play the game there. And frankly, he is really, he's really cool. As with a lot of the Forge World stuff and the other Necromunda stuff, we can see there's a lot of detail there, which is literally what you'd expect from Forge World. So yeah, it's another really nice model just to complement your crew there. Puppets War are working hard as always. At this point, if you've been buying a lot of the cheaper, easy to build GW stuff, and you're finding that your bits box is wanting, you really should consider visiting the Puppets War site. They've got rocket tips, they've got flame gun tips, they've got lots of different saws, different shotguns. They've got these skull heads, which will work great for, any Chaos or Iron Warrior. They've got alien heads and cybernetic arms. If you're playing Thousand Suns, but you don't want the standard sort of rubric marine heads, you can see they've got these Anubis heads. A lot of this is stuff that they've had out before, but they've been redoing, getting up on their website, and getting in stock. But and it's not cheap. You're talking €4.25, which with the current rate works out to about the same in pounds, possibly a little more, possibly a little less, given any day. The company, I believe, is in Poland. But so they're not the kind of people you're not going to go there and buy dozens of them to fill out your beta box. But if you want something specific, they're really not too expensive. If you're just looking for some stuff to really make your army pop, you're building the easy to build stuff. You've got your first your Primaris captain. You want to make him look a bit different. You want to give him a bit different sword. Maybe you want some bodyguards with unique heads around him, so that he looks like the head of your army with his own vanguard and elite guys. They're a really good place to check out with a lot of the new stuff they've brought out recently, and check out their older stuff as well. There's loads of old stuff there. Infinity wise, we've had the Operation Wildfire, another book and campaign and battle setting coming out from Infinity. They are releasing a lot of these. Not all of them have books, not all of them have bits and pieces. Some of them are just events. The Operation Wildfire has an unboxing video. It's all it's a lot of stuff there. But they've also been going through what goes with the Operation Wildfire. So check them out. You got the Speculo Killers, the Noctifiers, the Shasvasti Armor Corps, and all stuff like that. Operation Wildfire is another awesome release from Infinity. It's really worth checking out their stuff. Remember, not all of these releases are for everybody. Where are we? Basic painting. There you go, Operation Wildfire itself. Just going to pause while that loads up. Here we go. Here we've got the basics for Operation Wildfire. Basically, the way Operation Wildfire goes is it's designed to pit the O12 units against the the O12 units against the combined army's Shasvasti Expeditionary Force. So it's really sort of like it's very much sort of Black Ops on Black Ops kind of thing, which is where they've had some larger scale battles, but currently that's very much where it stands at the moment. You've got a rule book with 5 tutorial missions, guide you through the game mechanics. There's some miniatures in there, and there's a little miniature out back there that very much looks like a converted clone trooper from Star Wars. You've got another one of their paper scenery packs or cardboard scenery packs that are pretty good. This also comes with flame packs with a flame template or ruler template and all the bits you really need to play Infinity in general. So that's pretty cool. It's already out, so that's pretty. I think it's already out. It's something worth checking out. And they're going through what else you can buy to go with it and what else is cool around that. Basically, that's a lot of stuff that's come out in the past few weeks. There's loads of other cool stuff out there. I couldn't possibly fit it all in this video. But go out, check it out and see what's going on, guys. Hope you enjoyed this video. Hope it brought to your attention something maybe you hadn't seen before. And I'll see you guys in 2 weeks' time for the next one. Hi guys, hope you enjoyed that video. And if you did, remember to like and subscribe to my channel. I'm also on Facebook and Twitter. Not sure why, but I am. So if you like it, see me there. And please tell your friends. Thanks very much. Bye.